How's it going? Jemi's World is here. Yes, we are here and back with another video. I am giving you guys my January reading wrap up. And when I tell you the beginning of this year started off with a bang, it started off with a bang. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I completed 6 books and 1 novella. If you know me, I usually get to 4 books. I have 5 physical and 2 on the Kindle. We're gonna give you guys the inside scoop right here, right now. Make sure you do all those things: like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for all the notifications because we're coming in hot all 2025, and let's get into it. So the start of January, I started off with a very long, extensive novel that carried on from December. We have none other than Last Days. This is by Adam Neville, and I have a review right on my channel if you want to go check out the deep dive of this story and just all the substance that was inside of it. Spoiler free, of course. This story, first of all, intimidation to the max. This book is so big, but it packed a punch because the lettering and like how the words are wording on these pages are not super tiny, which gave me like more of a confidence to believe I can finish this. This is the first book I have ever read this lengthy, okay? This challenged me, but it taught me so many things. It made me feel like I was a part of a cast. And I will never not recommend this book if you're trying to get into something that is very complex, but very like a medium pace burn of greatness. This is based on a cult that is called Temple of Last Days. And this guy named Kyle Freeman is doing a documentary on this temple. Okay, so he's going back to these areas and to these spaces on where they used to meet up. And he's meeting up with former temple members, and it gets spookier and spookier, and it starts to kind of like trickle into him and his cast's life, to the point where his cast is like, yo, this isn't even worth my sanity anymore. I don't even care about the money. I don't care about going to Sundance. I don't care. Like, this is literally destroying my life. Do I recommend this for everyone? No. If you are a person that cannot stay the course on certain novels, like you need just like that adrenaline kick, I would not recommend this. I would recommend this to people who stay along for the ride and want to really see an entire story develop and go beyond its boundaries of what you think it's gonna be based on the synopsis. This book was so great. I rated it a strong 4-star, and I feel like this was a really good start to January. After that book, I got right into a book that released right after I completed Last Days. It is called No Place Left to Hide. This is by Megan Lally. This is her 2nd novel that she has published right at the top of the year. And if you know me, you know That Is Not My Name is a banger. And I was like, duh, I'm getting it as soon as it drops. This is about a girl named Brooke Goodman. She goes to this private school, and around the setting in the beginning of the story, they're talking about getting into Yale University. They're seniors in high school, and one of her classmates is hosting this Ivy party, and she's like debating if she wants to go or not. Like, she's not sure if she wants to go. She's so focused on making sure her family name stays clean. She keeps mentioning how something happened in the past to where she just destroyed the family name. Her dad is a judge. He's trying to like go up in the ranks and potentially go into politics. And her parents are pretty much like looking at her like, yo, don't do no F stuff to destroy the family name. Her friend is pretty much convincing her like, yo, you're going, I don't care what you're talking about. We're going to this party. You got into Yale and we going outside. Brooke is convinced enough based on this guy she likes named Dylan. It's her crush. And she's like, oh, if he's going to be there, then yeah, we can go. Typical high school, right? So in the midst of all those things, she is still like battling against something in her past that they have not addressed. And she keeps getting these no caller ID phone calls and text messages and voicemail. So she puts her phone on airplane mode and just acts like it doesn't exist. And that is the adrenaline, the entire story. It is so many layers. And honestly, Megan Lally is like on the level for me with Frida McFadden. Like, she's building her catalog and it's going to continue to progress for me based on just the second novel, and That's Not My Name. Her writing is so refreshing and just so smooth. It makes me feel like it's just like a breath of fresh air. Like, it's great. She literally knows how to like do dialogue as far as a person, what they're thinking, who they're talking to, how they're feeling. Like, she knows how to put those things in the right areas and like just unpack it in the most smoothest and just beautifully written way. Like, honestly, Megan Lally, if you see this, girl, I have questions. When is your next book or two? And can I read the manuscript? Because I'm like so glad I found her as a new author, because she is just so incredible and her writing is amazing. I rated this book a 4.25 star, and initially I think the only parts that really blew mine was like the catty high school vibe that was coming off. It's giving Mean Girls, it's giving Pretty Little Liars, and it's giving Gilmore Girl vibe, okay? So for me, what helped is me going back to high school and really like putting my headspace into that vibe of just the cattiness and the rumors and just all the stuff that went down after a party when you go back to school or before you go back to school or what happened last summer type of vibe. And that helped me a lot. But overall, this book gave me whiplash. And I told everyone that knows how obsessed I am with reading about it, that don't read. Right? I'm like, if it's somebody reads, I'll recommend it to them. But I'm like, if you don't read, you're getting all the spoilers. Because this one is one of those ones. Do I recommend this? Yes. Go pick it up. Megan Lally. If you see this, you're the greatest. After that high I literally fell off of, the next book I got into, okay, was 13. If you want to see the full length review, it is right on my account as well. I did a deep dive in how I felt about all this. Overall, I rated this book a 5 freaking star. Steve Kavanaugh is on my auto buy author list, okay? I have another book on my shelf from him. We're going to unpack this greatness because he bodied it. If you are not familiar with this story is about the biggest celebrity trial. It is about a guy who was accused of killing his fiance and his security guard, who were left in his bed contorted a certain way to look like he was the one that did the murder. But according to Eddie Flynn, who is his defense attorney, former con artist, he does not believe his client did this based on all the layers that are coming out in the trial. So he does his own separate investigation. And when I tell you the layers start unraveling, on top of that, there is another side POV of a serial killer on the jury. They're giving his backstory. They're explaining why he's doing this. It is so many symbols and so much in this book. I will never not stop recommending this. If you are not a crime, court, domestic thriller type of person, read this book and come back to me and convince me that you didn't like it. Steve Kavanaugh, well done. After that other high, right? I'm just on a high. I'm just like, let's go. We got banger. After that one, I get into my soft DNF from 2024 and continue on with The Vacancy in Room 10. This is by Serafina Nova Glass, and this is about a woman who just got her whole life shattered. Her fiance literally leaves her for the help. She refers to the help, okay? And she has nothing. She looks in the newspaper, sees a want ad for a property manager / maintenance person for this motel. She takes it, she gets hired, she moves into this motel, and she's the maintenance lady, fixing stuff in the motel. The other POV, it's a woman, her name is Anna, and she just found out her husband committed suicide, allegedly. Okay? She is completely confused, stunned, and overwhelmed. She finds out he commits suicide in a motel room that she never knew he even leased out. The motel room is the motel that the other female main character named Cass is the property/maintenance manager of. Serafina Nova Glass did an incredible job on this story. I rated this a 3.75 just based on how the twist came about, and I wasn't really shocked. Like, I feel like it was kind of obvious, and this is my first time ever catching a twist that I was right about. Okay, I'm always wrong. So it felt kind of obvious. It felt kind of like it wasn't something that was so shocking, but overall the writing style, all the characters she threw in there, and she wrote it in a very smooth and organized way. I didn't feel like everything was jumbled. Everything was put together very well. Would I recommend this book? Absolutely. I think people should definitely go check out her work as well as this book, because just because I found out the twist doesn't mean you won't like it. I think it was a good story overall. The banger that ended off my January 2025 high. When I tell you, I am still mind blown right now from this. We have Some Choose Darkness. This is by Charlie Donnelly, and he is on my auto buy / I want to go to his author signing. I have questions. I am intrigued, and why would you do this? Okay, I am so glad that I got this recommendation from a book talk bestie right on TikTok. And when I tell you, this book has so many layers. I will be doing a separate deep dive review on this because it is just so many layers to where I can't even fathom and describe it. Okay, this book is about a woman named Rory. She is a forensic reconstructionist. Her father just recently passed away, and she is going to pack the rest of the items at his law firm. She comes across this file on his desk, and she picks it up, and she sees that her father was working on this case for a very, very long time for this man named Thomas Mitchell, who is called the Thief. This guy is a famous unaliver, and her father was helping him with the appeal process after his trial, as well as financial arrangements. And she's trying to figure out, why is he helping him? And why are certain elements happening to where it's like, what's really going on? On the other side of this POV, so Charlie Donnelly in this story, he separates the POVs from 1975 to 2019. So the thief is a guy named Thomas Mitchell. And in 1975, there was like a spring of women getting unalived, and they're looking for this guy, and he is known as the thief. They're pretty much doing the playback of 1975 up into 2019 when he's trying to get out on parole. On top of that, there's a woman in here named Angela, and she is referred to a person that has obsessive compulsive disorder and really bad anxiety, to the point where she's like peeling off skin off her arms and like pulling out her eyelashes. And this only happens when she sees something, and once she gets hung up on it, she can't get it out of her head. Once she finds out about these women, she literally develops a whole biography folder of each woman and trying to put everything together like a detective, but beyond a detective, like a literal genius. When I tell you, this book separated everything beautifully and perfectly and then tied in everything together, so mind-blowing. My mind is literally blown still. How did you do that, Charlie Donnelly? How How did you even, like, after each chapter, and the chapters are short, which makes me happy because I'm a short chapter girly, I'm convinced, because it makes me feel like I accomplished something. How did you make me stop and just stare into space and just put my head down after certain chapters? How did you convince me that I had no idea what was going to happen? Like, this book is so freaking good. Just go pick up the book. If you, again, are not a crime, thriller, detective, uncover type of thriller person, read this and come back here and let me know. In the midst of that, I read The Final Scene. That is by Steph Nelson. That was on my Kindle. And that book was great. I rated that book a 4.25 star. And I will definitely recommend that for someone who needs a fast-paced, just quick, pack a punch type of book. This is a held in captivity trope, my first ever held in captivity trope I have ever read, and I will definitely be continuing on with that theme of thriller because it definitely put me in a space that I never even expected to like give me like a vibe or like a way of seeing or like reading a form of that side of thriller. Overall, the book was great. I don't want to give you guys too much because I have a review coming very soon, but it was a great book and it is on Kindle Unlimited, so go check it out. The last book I read was a novella. It is called Unhinged by Octavia Grant, the queen, none other than herself. She is incredible and all of her books are on Kindle Unlimited. And when I tell you she is so unhinged, this book says unhinged for a reason because it is unhinged. Check trigger warnings because it's not for everybody. But make sure you go lock in with her. She has a huge catalog on Kindle Unlimited, and I rated this book a 5 star. I don't want to give the synopsis away because it is a novella, and majority of her books are novellas, like 110 pages max. So it gives you something to like read in between these longer, lengthy stories. And if you need something that's going to just blow your mind as soon as you open the book, go pick up an Octavia Grant book. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. Again, make sure you guys do all those things, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to see how February treats us because I got a feeling I'm going to have some bangers as well. And see you guys in the next video.